Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Marilyn here. I have this beautiful album that I have made inspired in a Christmas ball, and I made it with the Vintage Artistry Noel collection. I'm going to use the 6x6 pack, the stamp, the ribbon, the ephemera stacks, and some of the 12x12 paper. Well, my friend, let's get started with this tutorial. I hope that you enjoy. I'm going to use circles. I already cut some circles, 5 by 3/4. I use chipboard and I cut 2 circles by 6 inches each one. You can see here. I also cut circles 2 inches, one from chipboard, like 6 from the same cardstock. And for the hinges, I cut 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. I made an adjustment in this size. You will see during the process. And I also cut one piece of 1 inch by 6 3/8 piece. And this is all. I will make adjustments because I don't have a model when I start this video tutorial, so I am making all the adjustments during the process. This is a piece of 1 by 11 and I am scoring this piece by half. You only need one of these pieces. I scored again another piece by half. Now I am folding this piece. I continue folding the pieces. And it is ready. Now I'm going to work with the hinges. They are 1 3/4 by 3 1/4, and I need to score these each of these pieces at 1/2, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2 3/4. I am folding all the score lines now. I'm folding in both directions. I will do this with each of the pieces of the hinges. It has this fun shape. And I will continue folding all the pieces. They are ready. Look how they are. And I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to start now with my first page of my first model. I just want to show you how I create this flip for the inner pages. I took 2 of the 5 3/4 circles. I've used the grid of my mat to mark the center of each circle. Now I put it on my mat and I use the ruler to mark 1 inch above the half of the circle. I make a pencil mark and I cut it now. Now I cut 3 inches, 2 pieces of the piece that is 1 by 11 that I fold by half, and I add glue and attach the 2 circles here in one of the sides. And I'm going to repeat the same step to the other side. I add adhesive to both sides and attach the small lid to the other side. Okay, I think it is ready. I'm going to now open. You can see here how it looks inside. Now I'm going to eliminate the excess of glue, and I'm going to cut here part of these hinges, the excess, and it is how it looks. Now I'm going to trace the semicircles in one of the 6x6 paper, and I'm going to cut these pieces now. Once I have these pieces, I'm going to add the magnet. I want to cover this magnet with the same paper, so I'm going to put it in this corner here, and I'm using a double tape to attach this. Now with my scissor I am distressing all the borders of the paper and adhere them to this part here where the magnet is inside, and I'm going to repeat the same with the other side. Okay, it is ready. Now I take this paper from the collection and I'm going to use the bottom part here where are all these squares. I'm going to use these squares as my mat for the mini album. So I'm going to cut all these pieces and they are ready. Now I add a piece of trim lacy from the 49 market, and I use this negative here that is from the laser cut from the Serendipity collection, and I cut it a piece in white cardstock and I put inside the magnet. This is that close both lids here. Now I take this as my mat and I'm going to put this here on the cover. Now I'm going to work the interiors and I want to use the stamp. I'm going to use the Merry Christmas sentiment from the stamp, and I use the washi tape to adhere one circle to my mat, and I'm going to use 2 oxide inks in color green to give a similar color to the paper of the collection. And I am stamping here. I want to cover all the circles using this stamp in irregular shape. I don't know, I am not making a specific pattern here, just cover all the circle. And once it's ready, I'm going to take now my brush and I want to ink all the edges of the circle with the same Distress Oxide ink. And I also apply this oxide ink over the circles in some area. Now you see here, I'm going to use my second green color that I have and repeat the same step and add a letter over the circle 2. And to finish, I'm using the Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo, and it gives this tone that it looks similar to the paper. You can see here, I already cut and attached this to the interior. Now I'm using the glitter paste and adding some textures on the back paper, the red one, and I am attached now one of the mat that I cut. I put a card and it is the page that it goes inside here. Now let's move to the second model or my second page. I just cut a piece of white cardstock 1.5 by 1 inch, and I am scoring at 7/8 inch. I flip the piece and I score again at 7/8 inch. Now I'm going to fold the score lines and I'm going to show you how it looks. It's super simple, look. And with this hinge, now I'm going to attach both of the circles. I put adhesive in both sides and put in one of the circle and the other over this piece. And it is the hinge for the other inner space. Now I'm going to attach another piece to the other side, but I am attached this piece only in one of the circles because the other part, let me show you how it looks. Look how simple. I love more this technique for the inner page. Anyway, I'm going to add now the magnet here. I'm going to put a little of the tacky glue and attach the magnet. I also love to use the double tape just to secure this. And I'm going to put now over this the other magnet, add a touch of glue, mark on the small lid here, and then put this there. It's easy in that way to know exactly when you need to put the other magnet. And it is ready. For this interior, I'm going to make one of the circles with the same technique that I did the green, but this time in color red and with the other sentiment from the stamp, the peace and joy and hope. And I used 2 different Distress Oxide to make the same technique. Let's move now to the shaker. For the shaker, I'm just trace one of the circles in one of the 6x6 paper. Now I'm going to use my ruler to mark the center of this circle. I use this template and cut a circle. If you don't have a piece like this one, you can trace any circle or any lead in the center of this piece. I cut it and I have the piece ready. Now I trace the center in the white base circle, and I'm using this piece from the Rivera because I want to show the peace and joy words through the shaker. I'm now rubbing some of the star and some of the pieces, and look how lovely it looks. I love these rub-ons. Now I take 3D foam tape and I'm going to cover all the circle that you see. Once it's ready, I add adhesive to the other part and add the acetate piece that I cut. And I add in double tape too, just to secure this. Now I'm going to add the things that go inside the shakers, like this green glitter and some snowflakes. Look how pretty it looks. Now I cover this with the 3D foam tape adhesive and it is ready. Later I'm going to cover all the borders here that you see the 3D foam tape, but for the tutorial I only show you the basic part of this. I just want that you have an idea how I make some of these pages. If you have any question, just let it down below. Okay, I cut the hinges. This is one of the measures that I adjust to 1 1/4. I cut everyone to the same measurement, and now I'm going to attach all these pieces together one by one. I add enough of the adhesive and attach one hinge to the other. Then I will repeat this until I have all the pieces attached. You see, and I continue adhering the pieces together. And other things that, because they are double, they are more stronger. And once I have these, I'm going to show you now. I'm using my bond folder to attach this well. And this is how it looks. I'm going to let it dry now, this piece. Now I'm going to work with the covers. And I'm using the 6-inch chipboard to trace it on a 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to cut 2 circles. I'm going to cut now. Okay, the hinges are ready now, they are dry, and I need to attach this to the 2-inch chipboard, so I make a mark with the ruler and mark the center of the chipboard piece. Now I look for the center of the hinges and I put it in the pencil mark that I did on the chipboard, and now I am going to attach this to this piece. I add enough of the adhesive, and with the bond folder, it helps to attach this piece to the chipboard. I think that it is ready. Look how it looks. And now I'm going to put this aside and let it dry. I'm going to work now with the covers. So this part is easy. I'm just adding adhesive to the 6-inch pattern paper and adhere it to the chipboard. I'm going to do this with the 2 pieces, as you see. Now it's time to add texture, and I'm using this glitter paste by Boboni and this lovely stencil. I'm going to add stars. I want to give these textures on the background and at the same time add a sparkling effect on this paper. And it is ready. Once it's dry, I'm going to start to decorate this. I am making a mark to the center of this. These are some of the pieces that I cut from the paper. Some are from the 6x6 paper, others are from the laser cuts. Now I'm adding a piece of cheesecloth, but you will see in a moment that I'm going to change the cheesecloth for another one that is a lighter tone. This flower is from the 6x6 paper, the joy is from the laser cuts, and the Santa too. This collection is so beautiful. And all these pieces are from the 6x6 paper pad. I cut it, the flower. Look here what I did. I changed the cheesecloth and I add this frame behind the joy piece. I'm adding some of the leaves and some of the cuts. These flowers are from the 6x6 paper and they comes with two flowers. You need to put one in the top of the other to create these dimensions, and they looks very natural. Look here how it looks so far. I play with all the pieces, and this is my arrangement. Now I want to add a little more of depth and more texture, and I'm using the hope sentiment from the stamp, and with a black archival I am stamping randomly on the background, and it is ready. Now I'm going to start to adhere all the pages to the hinges, so I am folding and make that the score lines work good here. And I'm going to start with my adhesive, and I add the first page here to the center. I follow the center that I make in each circle to know that I put it in the correct place, and I'm using these clips to attach the hinge to the circle. Let me show you the back, you can see. And this is the shaker, and look the back. And I'm going to adhere this one between the two pages that I attach in. For this page I attach one to the other, but I left this part here without glue, so I'm going to put the hinge inside these two pages here with enough of adhesive. And I am very careful to leave like a 1/16 inch from the score, because I want, let me secure that it's fold properly, you see. And I'm going to continue adhering all the rest of the pages. I'm do the same. I add the adhesive, then I put it in the middle of the circle, the mark that I have, and attach this with these clips. And this is how they look. Look, I attach these and the other, and now I'm going to remove this to work with the top part of this. Now I'm going to add the cover here, both cover, the front and the back. I add the adhesive, and carefully now I'm going to add the cover of the album. I look for the mark that is the center, and I put it there. Now I'm going to add some clips and let it dry, and I will do the same with the back too. Okay, now I cut with from the rest of the paper to cover the rest of the pages that need, and I adhere it. Now I'm going to work the top of the album. I take the piece that is 1 inch by 6 3/8, and I'm scoring every 1/8 inch of this piece. You can see here, it helps to make the circle, and I'm going to attach this. Now I take the 2 inches circle, and I'm going to attach a few of them, like 5 or 6. And this piece I'm going to attach here to the top of the album, and I'm going to put 2 clips and let it dry. Now I take from this glitter cardstock a piece of 1 inch by 6 3/8, and I'm scoring every 1/8 inch of this piece, completely scored, because I'm going to make the circle again. But when I finish this circle, it doesn't fit, so I had to make an adjustment and cut another piece by 1 inch by 6 3/4. You can see here I did all the step again and scoring this piece. And this one I add now adhesive to this part here, because the first piece was too small and this one fits perfect, the 1 inch by 6 3/4. And now with the bone folder I just push the piece, the circle piece, to push this to the border of the circular, the other part that I put around the circle. I'm just trying to, with the bone folder, to push this until I get this in the border of the other one to make the one is ready. I'm just adding adhesive glue to let it dry this and to secure this piece. Now I'm going to let it dry. Now I am punching the center of a 2-inch glitter circle, and I'm attaching a piece of ribbon here with double tape. I cover all this piece with double tape, and I'm also going to add a liquid glue and attach this to the top here of this piece. Now with the glitter, I'm adding double tape to the piece that I cut, the 1 inch by 3/4, and add double tape. And with this piece, I'm going to cover the top part of the album, the part of the ornament here, the circular shape. Let me show you. This tape is very strong. Now I will cover this part here carefully. This part is a little tricky here because I am trying to show you how I made it and show you through the camera. But if you can work this part more comfortable if you put it on the desk. Anyway, you can see here that now this piece fits perfect, the 6 3/4. So this is the new measure for this, and look how lovely it looks so far. It looks like a real Christmas ball. Now I'm going to decor this a little more. I'm adding some wishing bubbles here and there. Look how lovely are these pieces. I'm going to add a few more things that you can see here, how lovely it looks now. I'm showing you some photos of the inner pages. I come back soon with a walking through video to show you all the details, and check the description box down below are the link to the 49th Market blog where are all the materials that I use. If you like this video, please bring me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Here are 2 more videos that maybe you are interested, and I come back soon with a new video tutorial. Nos vemos, bye bye.